Practice Exam 1, Part 1. As I said on the email today, Friday, September the 18th, you have your Quiz 2 on Monday, September the 21st. I'll be sending it at 8 p.m. and you'll have to send it back at 8:15 p.m. And then on Wednesday at 7 p.m. I'll be sending you the Exam 1, the first exam, okay, which I've rewritten. So be ready for them. I said in a previous video I'd be uploading this first practice exam nearer to the time to tell you a bit more about the new exam, which I have rewritten, and I would tell you about how much it does match the practice exam. I will go through the whole practice exam that I did send you, but the actual exam, it also has an 80-point section on truth table problems. Okay, that's the last section of the actual exam. So your practice exam has section C, right? And we'll go through all of these. Truth table problems. Your real exam has a section, also half the exam. The exam is worth 160 points total. So half of that, 80 points, are devoted to truth table problems. And the questions, you've also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions on the actual exam, like you do on the practice exam, 16 points per question, and it very much, very similar questions to these. So a question, use the full truth table method to determine whether the following argument form is valid or not. Show your working, right? Questions about logical implication, logical equivalence, tautology contradictions perhaps, consistency, all these truth table problems, all the stuff covered in units 5 and 6. This exam goes up to the end of, covers material up to the end of unit 6. And as I said on the email, you will have to submit at least this section, the section on the truth table problems. You will have to provide handwritten answers to these, right? There's no other way to do truth tables. So as I said on the email, you can either, if you can print and scan, right? If you can print out the exam, and the same goes for the tests here for quiz 2, print it out, write out your answers in pen, scan it, email it back to me. If you can't do that, you can take a photo of it, make sure the photos are clear, and attach that to an email and send that back. Okay. So that holds for the last part of the actual exam, right? You'll have to submit written answers, and also for this quiz. You'll be given 2 questions on the quiz. This is quiz 2. It's 12 points of your total assessment. Again, the exam, each exam 160 points, each quiz 12 points. Quiz 2, there's 2 questions. One is, you're given it's very much like question 12 of the practice exam. You're given an argument form, right? So 3 or 4 formulas separated into premises and conclusion. And you are to use the full truth table method to test this argument for validity, right? So you're going to do a full truth table method. So fill in every entry for T and F, at least under the major operators for all the formulas, and look for a counterexample. See if there is a counterexample. What is a counterexample? It's a row in the truth table where all the premises come out true and the conclusion is false. Right? If there is a counterexample, you write down, say, you point to it and say, this is a counterexample, therefore this argument is invalid. And if there are no counterexamples, you say, this argument is valid because there are no counterexamples. Okay, so that's one of the 2 questions on the quiz. The second question is a question from Unit 6, so either a question testing your knowledge of tautology, contradiction, and contingency. Talk a bit about them going through the first part of the practice exam, or a question about logical implication, logical equivalence, or consistency. So one of those will be the question 2 for quiz 2. Each of the 2 questions, 6 points each. Okay, so right, the other thing about the actual exam. So the sections, the 80 points which are not truth table problems, so they've been rewritten. It's section A is just true and false questions. There are 10 true or false questions worth 2 points each. Is that right? No, they're 3 points each. I'm sorry. Here's the exam. 4 points each. This is worth 40 points. Section A, true or false, 4 points each, 10 questions, okay? So for 40 points, right. And then there's a question, section B, truth functionality. You are given a sentential operator and asked to demonstrate that it is not a truth functional operator. As I promised, that would be on the exam. It is. Question 1 of the practice exam, which I'll go over, will be again reminding you about how to show an operator is non-truth functional. So that's section A, true and false, 40 points. Section B, test, demonstrate that this operator is non-truth functional, 10 points. Section C is symbolization, 30 points. So you've got 5. You're given a dictionary, right? So you're given this sentence gets this letter, right? So capital S equals this sentence. You're given 5 sentences, 6 points each to symbolize them. 30 points on symbolizations. And that's it. That's the other 80 points, all right? 30 plus 10 plus 40, 40 true, false, 10 truth functionality, 30 symbolizations. Okay, start a part 2, and we'll start going through practice exam 1. Do have a go at it before you watch the videos so that you know what you need to revise if you get stuck on something.